Yeah, dude, Xbox expects to go full digital next gen. Industry analysts say. This is Arnaud Van de Vedeli over at WCCF Tech. Xbox is expected to abandon physical media and go full digital next gen. At least that's what known industry analyst Matt Pescatella believes. For quite some time, we've seen Xbox pulling the chariot when it comes to the digital transformation, aside from several high-profile titles, including recent titles such as Hellblade 2, not releasing physically. There are signs that several major retailers have stopped selling physical copies of Xbox titles. Yeah, dude, this is just the beginning. The transition is here. I've got a good friend of mine who is huge into physical. I said, dude, I get it, but it is not the future.
No.
Right?
No, man. It's 100% true. Physical is the past, man. As much as we hate to say that is true, it's the past. All these collector's editions of games and stuff, they all come with digital codes. Yep. And the amount of money that these publishing houses have to spend on physical media compared to something like a piece of paper that's got a code on it. Why spend that extra money? When they're obviously looking into the statistics of all of this and saying, bro, there's a ton of people, way more people that are buying digital than physical. So, I mean, then you have Walmart, Walmart being one of these retailers that are discounting these games down to like $5, $10, these huge titles. So they're trying to get rid of it as quick as possible, obviously, to redo what they need to into that digital selling point in some of these retailers. So, it's true, man. It's definitely coming. We got to get ready for it because it's going to be a big wave for a wave of sadness for all those physical lovers. So
absolutely. Back in January of this year, we reported on Xbox layoffs might have included a shutdown of the physical release teams. Quote, Microsoft has also shut down departments dedicated to bringing Xbox games to physical retail, which, if you've seen the digital-only Xbox console leaks, well, you get an idea where Microsoft is going in here. End quote. This is Jez over at Windows Central. Taking to X, industry Matt Pescatella has now said that Xbox players should expect no physical releases rather sooner than later. Later on, he added that expects Sony to do the same and Nintendo to do the same as well. We're all slowly starting to transition over. Dude, I've already gone all digital. For me to have so many games on my console is just easy. Versus, gotta get up, grab the disc, set it in there. This is the future. Here's the other side of it too. When it was physical, so many people would then sell off their games. Myself included, back in the day, dude, you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get that next console release. I was that guy. I still cry a little bit inside every time I think about it. But to do that, then them being EB Games over here in Canada or GameStop over in the US, which is now transitioned here in Canada as well. Either way, the brick and mortar store would then sell those games used almost for nearly full price and make a ton of money off of it, right? Which made no sense. Then everybody, the devs, they were like, yo, we don't get a cut from this. That's why we're going so physical or so digital now, is to cut that loss that they're seeing, right? Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, 100%, and you said it perfectly. I mean, they weren't getting a cut from it, especially with most of these companies doing the resale and selling these titles at full cost. Even after them being out for a certain amount of time, it's really crazy, but it is something that we have to get used to see. And it's something that I think is, I think that GameStop and, or in general, these game stores have to kind of get used to that. And I think if anything, we're going to see a lot of these small time stores probably become a little bit more popular, maybe in that thing, but for just a short amount of time. And then once that's cut, man, I mean, we're going to see some of these stores like here in Texas, we have a place called Game Exchange, and that's their big thing, is selling classic games. So if there's no more games being made, man, I mean, it's going to be a pretty niche kind of market. So I don't know. It could be scary for retro game stores as well. So
no, absolutely. We're starting to shift away. Even you go into what was EB Games over here now, you walk in, it's like board games and collector items. There's just a small wall of now physical games, right? Like they're starting to shift because they see the writing on the wall. To be honest, dude, I'm surprised they're still in business. I'm surprised those brick and mortar stores are still available, right? I thought a long time ago as the transition has been happening, but now we're even thinking Nintendo to do the same thing. Nintendo goes to the beat of their own drum, Caleb, without a doubt. They do. Right? So I wonder how long it will take for them to catch on to go digital only, where PlayStation and Xbox could just flip the switch and do it tomorrow.
Well, it really honestly kind of depends on what we're going to see out of the next Switch, I think. Because the next Switch 2, it's supposed to be announced sometime this year from what they're stating. And, I mean, we still have Tokyo Game Show coming up. We have Gamescom. So, you know, it really depends on them. If they come out and they do say that this Switch 2 is a more powerful console and they're really pushing digital marketing, then awesome, great. But from what I'm seeing online, there is going to be a physical base of like how you play your games. So it's still going to be some type of cartridge or something like that. So I don't know, man. Nintendo might actually kind of sway some things for some of those retro stores. So keep them open a little bit longer.
What's your hype level for Switch 2?
I'm pretty excited about it, honestly. Like when the Switch first came out, I was like, oh, you know, that's, you know, it's pretty cool. It's okay. But I can't say, you know, no hate to anybody. So don't jump on me. But I didn't jump into the whole aspect of, you know, oh, I got to go get this HD Switch. You know, it's got a bigger screen. It's got this, it's got that. So, all kinds of stuff that is, of course, possibly going to come out for the Switch 2. Hopefully better graphics, better visuals. I would love the ability of being able to have it off of the dock and having a good, at least 1080, 60 frames per second kind of experience to compete with something like the Steam Deck and much more. So, but my son's walking in. I'm sorry.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's definitely something to be excited for.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think they'll follow suit eventually. Right now, my whole Switch library is just all downloaded. So that it is the future, without a doubt. Just how long does that future take to get here? We want to hear from you. Hit us up, itgtv.com. Is your future looking digital?